Thought I found a way. Thought I found a way. Yeah. But you never go away. Never go away. So I guess I gotta stay now. Oh, I hope someday I'll make it out of here, even if it takes all night or 100 years. Need a place to hide, but I can't find one. You wanna feel alive outside. I can't find my fear. Isn't it lovely? All alone, heart made of glass, my mind of stone. Tearing to pieces, skin and bone. Hello, welcome home. Walking out of town, looking for a better place. Something's on my mind, always in my head space. But I know someday I'll make it out of here, even if it takes all night or 100 years. Need a place to cry, but I can't find one. I wanna feel alive, but I can't find my feet. Isn't it lovely? All alone, heart made of glass, my mind of stone. Tear me to pieces, skin and bone. Hello, welcome home.
Welcome to Voices Unlocked. Thank you all so much for being here, and thank you for your patience. Tonight is about the stories that we often suffer from in silence, and it's about using the power of music and storytelling for healing and to bring light upon those stories. I'm Hillary Marusak. I'm a neuroscientist and a mental health researcher and advocate here at Wayne State University, and I can tell you that music and storytelling don't just emotionally move us, they actually can change our brains. And they help us build hope and resilience and connection in terms of community. So I'm so thankful that you are all here tonight. And what better place to celebrate this than in Detroit, right? A city whose legacy has been really grounded in music as a source of strength and hope and transformation. And actually, I found this out recently that the very building we're sitting in that has horrible acoustics, Diana Ross's mother's funeral was here, Ernestine Ross, in the 1980s. So there you go. So tonight, we're going to continue to build this legacy together. So I'm deeply grateful for all of the organizers, all of the volunteers here, students, the performers, the artists who have shared their special work with us, and most of all, to the people with lived experiences who will courageously share their stories with all of us tonight. And tonight you'll hear some really powerful stories about resilience and transformation and healing, and you'll also witness more breathtaking performances. And finally, we'll learn how together, as my friend John Nelson will tell us, we can pulverize the stigma of mental illness. So on all of your tables, you should have a bunch of QR codes. One of them will be to access our full program, where you can learn more about our amazing contributors and artists and performers. There's another QR code to contribute to our word cloud, which Alex will be managing here to share how you help to feel hope when you're feeling down. So please contribute. And then finally, throughout tonight, you can contribute and donate to our silent auction, made possible by generous community partners and artists. And every single dollar donated tonight will go to benefit the Children's Center of Detroit, a fantastic organization. They have a booth in the back. You'll be hearing more from their president and CEO later tonight. And then finally, I just ask you all to be present, to really listen, to speak and understand and celebrate the courageous words, and also to know that I know everyone's here on a different journey. If you're a student, or if you're a loved one or a performer, or someone who's on your own path of healing, I just want you to know that you are valued to be here and your voice matters. So let's get started with Voices Unlocked. I am deeply honored to introduce Dr. Lori Clabo, who is a leader whose leadership really embodies community, arts, and mental health. So please welcome the Wayne State University Provost, Dr. Lori Clabo.
Thanks, Lori. Good evening. What a beautiful evening in the city of Detroit. It is really my pleasure and my honor to be able to join you tonight as we come together to celebrate stories of resilience. This will be an incredibly uplifting evening, I know, and we're already off to a really great start. Can we give it up once again for Melody Detroit? They were spectacular. On behalf of the entire university leadership, I want to thank Dr. Hillary Marusek and all of the student organizers for putting on this event. Wayne State is incredibly proud to be able to host a gathering like this, which reflects our university values of belonging and wellness and community impact. We know that mental health is a critical part of student success at our university. When students are well, both physically and mentally, they can perform at their peak, and they can do their best work in the classroom, in their internships, in the lab, with their communities, and most importantly, in their lives. We, at Wayne State, we are committed to building supportive, thriving communities, both on campus and within Southeastern Michigan. We do this through research and collaboration, education, and through providing directly mental health services for our community. In fact, I think a point that we want to make sure you hear is that Wayne State students provide over 250,000 hours of clinical service in mental health care every year in our region. 250,000 hours of clinical care in mental health in our region. Let's give it up for our students. You know, our university partners with hundreds of organizations across the state to provide care, to educate students, to conduct research, and to serve our community. Thousands of Metro Detroiters receive mental health care from Wayne State faculty, students, and our graduates every year. This impact is huge, and I am incredibly grateful to our students, our educators, our clinicians, and researchers like Hillary, who lead the way in service and in science-informed advocacy. Mental health challenges touch every one of us in some way. And I'd like to remind members of our Wayne State community that we have services available on campus. Lots of mental health services available to you through our friends at CAPS, who I see are here tonight, for students, as well as the Campus Health Center, and for faculty and staff, our Employee Assistance Program. Please make use of these services, reach out to these services. They are here to support you. But tonight we come together to share stories, to lift voices in song, and to discuss ways to dismantle the stigma of mental illness. These activities have a way of transcending barriers, and I'm grateful to all of our performers and speakers tonight for sharing their talents and bringing all of us together. I invite everyone, as Hillary said, to engage openly, to reflect deeply, and to celebrate the power of voice and connection in this very special evening. Thank you.
All right, to follow, we have poet and musician Cosine Welch, who will be performing his original song called No More Heroes.
Hello, hello, hello. You guys hear me? Woo. Okay, son. Thank you again so much for coming out, for your support, taking serious. Can y'all tell I'm nervous? This song is called No More Heroes. Trigger warning, it deals with issues of self-harm, sexual assault, and substance abuse disorder. No hero. life worth everything. But the boy on the shore never know everything. Water steals his lungs, and darkness kills his soul. In his final solace, sad songs about us. He couldn't live past Saturday. Cause there's no hero, no one who cares to say or give a damn, maybe. Just lonely people don't want to lend a hand, maybe. There's no more hero, no one who cares to say or give a damn. Just lonely people don't lend a hand, maybe. They shot on my hero, cast out my hero, then ice cold my hero. I hope God got my hero. They shot on my hero, locked on my hero, then ice got my hero. I hope God got my hero. I hope God got my hero. I hope God got my hero. Thank you.
We keep it real. Yes.
I'm worried that you didn't hear that. This instrument is the bassoon, and Greta, who's the pianist, and I play in the Detroit Medical Orchestra, and we're representing that group, and this is called the Prayer for Peace.
one is.
Of course, when I talk, is this a game you guys are playing with me? Come on, I know we kept you late. All right, for our first featured talk, please welcome my friend and mental health advocate, John Nelson.
So the third week of July is by far my favorite week of the year. My family and I, we go to Western PA to a family camp. So think a middle school camp, but for families. The reason it's incredible is it's my kids' chance to understand what it was like to live in the 1980s. Technology doesn't work. We literally keep the phones in the car in the glove compartment. It's magical. The kids run around, just have fun, capture the flag, kick the can, we're canoeing. It's just the most amazing, amazing, amazing week. The last night we're there, we're doing a campfire. Kids are running around, and this little 5-year-old girl, just marshmallows literally coming down her face. She's got s'mores in her hand, and she just locks eyes with me and walks right up to me. And she says, "Do those 2 bug bites on the top of your head hurt you?" And I just looked at her and smiled, and I said, "Those are signs of life and love. That's what they are to me." The very first time I felt unrelenting sadness was when I was 16 years old. We moved from Pittsburgh to Indianapolis. And it was the first time I just could not just absolutely get over the feeling of just sorrow. I go out to dinner with my mom about 3 months into feeling like this, and I just had tears running down my eyes, my face. And I said, "Mom, I don't know what's going on. I literally am consumed with sadness." And she said, "We're gonna go tomorrow to the doctor, and we're gonna talk to the doctor." We walk in, had the most amazing conversation with a physician, and they put me on Prozac. And my mom looked at me as we were walking out, and she said, "Make sure that you don't tell anybody that you're taking that." That feeling went away pretty quickly, and life happened. Life was really fun. I ended up moving to New York City in 2000, and I can't begin to tell you how much fun that was. I have this most extremely vivid memory ever. I'm at 450 Lexington Avenue in the lobby of the building that I'm working at. I'm standing on the side, I'm waiting for a friend, and I just see this woman walking across the lobby, just stunning. Just beautiful. I'll never forget it. I was extremely fortunate to not only get to know that woman, but to make her my wife, become her husband, become the father of 3 children with her. The last thing that I ever thought when I saw her for the first time was that she was also going to be my caregiver. We moved to San Francisco. Life was great. We moved to Princeton, New Jersey on the way back. And I started feeling that unrelenting sadness again. It didn't make sense. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I have these 2 kids. My career is cruising. And it just wouldn't stop. I'm this extremely extroverted person. I'm the guy who's the kind of glue of the friend group, right? I'm the guy who's always constantly going all the time. And the only thing that I really loved was we had this blue couch, my dad's old couch in his office, this blue leather couch. It became my best friend. It was the only place that I could go and I could put my head on it and I could feel comfortable and I could sleep. I didn't want to be around friends anymore. I didn't want to be really hanging out with my family anymore. All I wanted to do was sleep. All that I wanted to do was get this feeling of awful sadness out of my body. And absolutely nothing worked. It ended up getting to the point where rather than wanting to go hang out with my friends and do these fun things, all I wanted to do was die. That's all I wanted to do. Think of the amazing things that you have to do in life: vacation, intimacy, hanging out with your friends, laughing. All of those were excruciating. I didn't want to have anything to do with them. All I wanted to do was die, completely euphoric for death. That was the only thing that I wanted. July 2018, my wife and my family go to the beach. One of the things that happens when you're dealing with extreme depression is one of the behaviors that is very common, that's not talked about much, is you lie. You lie to get out of things. So my wife asked me to go to the beach with her and the kids for the week. I said, I can't go. I got work. I didn't have to work. All I wanted to do was sit at home and consume an incredible amount of substances so that I could not feel the absolute horror and poison that was running through my body. As my wife is backing out, minivan, 3 kids, rolling out, I'll never forget it again. We lock eyes for probably a half a second, but she just slowed that car down for an extra half a second. And it was kind of that last moment of her and me connecting, not knowing if we'd see each other again. That night, after consuming far too much cannabis, far too much alcohol, eating far too much food, I'm in my bed. I'm staring up at the ceiling, and I just have tears just flying down my face. And I'm just staring at the ceiling, just screaming, why am I so fucking sad? What is going on? That morning I woke up and I asked for help. My boss came over and I faked that I couldn't, my car wasn't working. And it started my very, very difficult journey of recovery. I went to a treatment facility in Arizona. And I'm in this treatment facility, and the only thing that I'm doing the entire first 2 days that I'm there is I hate snakes, always have despised snakes. I'm searching the desert for a snake so that that snake can kill me. That's all that I wanted to do. Find the snake, have it kill me, I'm done. I go through all the medications: Prozac, Zoloft, Wellbutrin, Lexapro. Boom, 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 nothing, no relief. 2 30-day residential treatment facilities, no relief. 3 partial hospitalization plans, 3 intensive outpatient plans, nothing worked. I end up getting transcranial magnetic stimulation. That is a technology where you sit in a chair 36 times. I have to drive to a psychiatrist's office, sit there, have my brain zapped with magnetic pulses. $495 every single time on my credit card, not knowing if I'm going to be reimbursed. Let me tell you how difficult it is to heal your mind when you're financially ruining your family. Didn't work. Psychedelics, ketamine nasal spray. Let me tell you how beautiful that was. When you're treatment-resistant depression, which is what I was, and nothing works, when you are prescribed euphoria, it was incredible. The only challenge is that I have to take it and monitor it myself. So that turns into additional abuse because all I'm trying to do is stay alive. I then get to go to what is the gold standard of treatment-resistant depression. It's called electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, shock therapy. I have a question for everybody in this room. Who in this room has a family member who is over the age of 90? Not many hands. So those people were the only people alive when this therapy was created. 90-year-old technology is what is used to treat the most horrific maniacal disease in the planet. Let me explain to you what that was like for me. That means I have to have somebody take me to the hospital. I get to go wheeled into a chair, wheeled in like literally like cattle, put under anesthesia 12 times, 12 separate times, have my brain seized, wake up, get put into a wheelchair, get wheelchaired out to a car. Significant memory loss still to this day. I've lost a significant amount of my life that I cannot remember because of the gold standard treatment for depression. Guess what happened after those 12 rounds of ECT? Didn't work. So at this point, all I have left is to sign up for misery or to die. And I had this one little tiny thing that was holding me onto this planet, which was my children going back to school after I die by suicide and them getting made fun of because that happens. Every single human being who has died by suicide, I want to be very, 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 very pointed about this. They are the strongest human beings in the entire planet to have lived with the maniacalness of serious mental illness and the ridiculousness of how society treats them. The only thing that they had different than me is they had lost every single connection to reality. I still had that one. The only reason I'm here on this planet. I end up getting into a clinical trial. So since I was the worst of the worst treatment resistant, I ended up getting into a clinical trial for brain surgery. And that brain surgery is called deep brain stimulation. So what that is it ends up being a pacemaker that they implant into my chest, cord that goes up the side of my head, those two dots that you see right there, and two electrical leads that go down with 8 specific parts that pump 23 million electrical pulses into my brain every single day. The only thing I thought of going into this surgery was, sweet, I get to die. I hope I get on that table and I die. Because guess what? When you die by suicide, you don't get life insurance. I'm euphoric to figure out ways to die so my family can still be taken care of when I'm gone. When I wake up from the surgery, I just was completely blown away. They turned on each one of these 8 devices, and the doctor just said to me once, every single time they turned on one, she would say, "Do you feel like you could walk your dog again?" I couldn't walk my dog. I couldn't do anything. I loved having fire pits outside with my friends. I couldn't do that. I could do nothing. I couldn't brush my teeth. Do you feel like you can walk your dog? Yeah, I feel like I can. Next one. Do you feel like you could have friends over for a fire? Yeah, I can. They huddle. They say, go home. I woke up the next day, which is August 23rd, 2022, and I have been completely 100% in remission of the absolute horrors of the brain disease, of serious mental illness, and of depression. And I have two thoughts. The first thought is, how is this real? How are my two biggest symptoms of poison, literally poison? Imagine the feeling you get with the aches and shakes with the flu. Replace that feeling with just death and dread, just constantly circulating through my body. I could feel it in my pinky. That's gone. And just constant suicidal ideation. Every tree in my town, I know exactly which one would be the best for me to slam my car into. It was that common. It was so common, it was like breathing. That's gone. I'm biological proof. I'm proof of the biological nature of serious mental illness. All I have, and all millions of people have, is a circuit that is inactive in their brain. My surgery is done for deep brain stimulation for Parkinson's. With Parkinson's, you shake, and then boom, they stimulate that portion of the brain, and you're good. They figured that out with depression. The second thought I have is I am so pissed off. For the entire rest of my life, I'm going to be pissed. And I'm going to tell the entire world that the reason millions and millions of beautiful human beings suffer and die is because of your ignorance and your judgment. The problem with society is they don't accept certain diseases. Why is it that everybody is at my neighbor's house, lined up, giving casseroles to them, driving them to their chemo and radiation, but nobody's helping my wife? Why am I being judged and labeled and shamed for getting the gold standard treatment, but other diseases aren't? People with depression wait a decade. They sit at home for a decade before they go get help because of the stigma, because of the stupidity of society. So my message to every single human being out there that supports the stigma in any single way is you are an absolute accomplice to murder. If we can change our thought process, and we can do two simple things that cost zero money, we will save countless, countless lives. And they're extremely simple. All we need to do is we need to show empathy like we do for every single other disease nobody has asked for. And we need to be kind. We'll save millions of lives. Thank you for having me. I love you.
All right. Oh, it works. Fantastic. So I'm going to try to distract you all while they're doing some things behind. Yes, we're doing it Detroit style tonight. Avert your eyes. Chad, come on up here and juggle or something. All right, so I am very excited to introduce the next performance by my new friend, Darrell Strickland, who will be performing You're Special.
Thank you. It's good to see so many lovely people out here. You know, every one of you is so special. And I dedicate this song to you. And if you have a mother, sister, brother, they're special to you too. So don't let nobody tell you that you're never special. Let's get it. You might not know the words to the song, but when the chorus line come on, I want everybody to sing, because we need to be special. We need someone to tell us that we're special during these last critical times. I Check this out.
It's because I love you. I dedicate this song to you, yeah.
You know what?
Yes, these special words I sing, it talks about the joy you bring, yeah.
Everybody say this.
You're special to me, girl, so special. You know that you are.
I want everybody in the back to say this. You're special. Come on.
'Cause it makes me feel so good. Keep doing what you're doing, 'cause you're special to me.
You know what?
I never met no one like you who makes me feel the way you do. Girl, you got me all wrapped up, and it feels so good to me. Yeah,
You know what?
you're special.
Fellas, tell the ladies that they special.
So special, you know that you are. And I like it, 'cause it makes me feel so good. Keep doing what you're doing, 'cause you're special to me.
Check this out. Whenever you're feeling low, you're feeling down, just know that you are special. Don't let nobody ever tell you that. And because all you hear, because you was created by God, who loved each and every one of you. And you're different, you're special, you're unique.
A girl like you is hard to find. Girl, you know you blow my mind.
Sing the song.
So special, you know that you are. And I like it, 'cause it makes me feel so good. Keep doing what you're doing, 'cause you're special to me.
Did y'all hear it out there? How you doing? I'd like to thank Hillary and the crew and all of you for being so special. Love you.
Oh, I keep breaking it. Dang it. All right, next we have Harold Thomas, who will be performing Chapters of My Living Heart. And while he's getting set up here, I just want to remind you all, please, please, please scan the QR code to donate and to bid on our silent auction. Again, it's all benefiting a local nonprofit, so please check that out on your QR codes.
How you guys doing tonight? Yeah, me too. Okay, I'm going to do I'm a singer, songwriter, entertainer. Here from Detroit, Michigan. I did some things in my life, and this song right here, I wrote this song entitled Chapters of My Living. It's personal. I guess everybody, when you're a songwriter, you're writing a song, it becomes personal, right? But I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that Hillary and her friends and everybody invited me and Darrell down here tonight. So I'm going to attempt to do this song. I just wrote this song, so bear with me, and we're going to make it right.
We're finally free.
I woke up to a sunrise, thin as a page. Coffee steam rising like a memory stage. The clock kept a simple
turning the chapters in this life of mine. And it's the chapter of my living, but I just ain't well looking where every line begins. From first small whisper, stand in my chest. I'm writing my tomorrow in every breath I take. My breath.
Tighten up the bottom of the microphone.
There's a chapter of more reckless on the disappearing life. Pages filled with hope and learn to survive. Each sentence resonates to stay alive. It's the chapters of my living, where reckless life with me. From small whisper pounding in my chest.
Every sentence is pushing me to press.
Shout it out, mother, shout it out, mother, shout it out,
Thank you.
All right. Does this one work? Perfect. All right, next we have Stephanie Cascally from Wayne State's Counseling and Psychological Services to give us a brief breathing exercise. Thank you, Stephanie.
Hello, everyone. Hope y'all are doing good. We've heard some amazing stories so far, listened to some amazing music, and whenever we're talking about mental health, you know, we can bring up those feelings of courage and resiliency, but it can also affect us too. So together, we're just going to do some simple breathing exercises together to kind of help ground us, bring us back to the present, so we can continue to listen to these amazing stories. So however you're seating right now, just try to get in a comfortable seating position, whatever is comfortable for you. I don't know about you, but it's getting a little chilly in here, which is fine. I'll take the cold. Michigander, plain no matter what it looks like. But get yourself nice and comfy. And if you want, you're more than welcome to close your eyes or keep them open, whatever is comfortable for you. So all we're going to do is we're just going to take a nice deep breath in, and you're going to hold that for 5 seconds. And then after those 5 seconds, a nice breath out. And you're just going to keep doing this. And it's okay if you can't hold for 5 seconds. There's no wrong way to be breathing right now. It's just focusing on your breathing. Because that's going to keep us right in the present. And as you're focusing on your breathing, if you're sitting there, I just want you to kind of just pay attention to how your body's feeling right now. How are your arms feeling? How are your legs feeling? Keep watching your breath as you're rising and falling, breathing in, breathing out. There's no wrong way to feel or wrong way to be right now. You're just being. We're all just being here. And you just go ahead and stay with that for now. Then I'm going to count us right back. I'm going to count from 5 down. And when I get to 1, we're going to come back together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you slowly come back. Whew. We're all good? That's my calm, soothing voice. Now available on iTunes. Stuff talks to you. It's a very rare voice. It only comes out for these exercises. But I appreciate you all, and I look forward to hearing some more amazing music and stories. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Stephanie. All right, I feel calmer. I'm just kidding, I don't. Every time I step on this stage, I worry a microphone is gonna be shut off on purpose. I'm looking at you back there, Amin. All right, while they are getting set up, I will introduce our next performance. This is another one of my friends and my colleague, a psychiatrist and a faculty member at Wayne State, Dr. Nicholas Michel, and he will be playing Billy Joel's Highland Falls, so this will be a real treat.
All right, first I want to thank Hillary for inviting me to come here and share tonight. I want to thank all of you for being here and the students and everyone that helped organize this. I'm a professor here at Wayne State, but I'm also from outside Detroit. I grew up in Redford and I went to Wayne State for undergrad and med school and all my training, and now I work here. When I was in med school at Wayne State, I started playing a gig at a bar downtown every Friday at 5 o'clock, and I still do that every Friday at 5 o'clock. Like clockwork. Every Friday, those are my office hours. I go down there and that's where I sit down and I process what happened that week. One of the songs that I play very frequently there is what I'm going to play right now. It's Billy Joel's Summer Highland Falls. And I think that Billy wrote this song kind of channeling, talking about the duality really in every person, and about how in himself at the time, and many times instead of kind of being able to stay in the middle, it's like we're always just existing between these two extremes. So in this song, that's what he's trying to convey.
They say these are not the best of times, but they're the only times I've ever known. And I believe there is a time for meditation in cathedrals of our own. Now I've seen that sad surrender in my lover's eyes, and I can only stand apart and sympathize. We are always what our situations hand us. It's either sadness or euphoria. Set the How thoughtlessly we dissipate our energies. Perhaps we don't fulfill each other's fantasies as we stand upon the ledges of our lives with our respective similarities. It's either sadness or euphoria. It's either sadness or euphoria.
All right, Cosine Welch will be returning to the stage now, who will be delivering a poem called 3:16 a.m. in 3 words. Please welcome me in joining Cosine.
Okay. In the words of Erykah Badu, y'all know I'm sensitive about my so. 3:16 a.m. 3 words. It's okay. It's 3:16 a.m. and I'm only writing you because I've accepted that I'm powerless. I'm only saying I've accepted that I'm powerless to say that I'm working on accepting. Bro, I'm trying to. I made a right turn on Cathedral to write you. It was just the next available street, but it seemed significant. I knew I had to stop one of these days and one of these times that every other thing making me think about a moment with you. I turned right on Cathedral thinking of how that conversation seemed an evil omen, portent of things to come and pass. Fear flung and sung from my lips in synonyms of prayer, therapy, something, bro. But you were never religious in that way. More like Santeria or Condoble, sending me weird images of spirit totems made of woods we couldn't pronounce and colors and hues that I couldn't see but only feel. I remember telling you that Ifa and the ancestors were out in this land of lost bones and bleached skin to protect us, to give you vision to see within, and you said quickly, yeah, bro, but killers have spirit vision too. I prayed to my mama to watch out for you. So who was, I wonder? Phone out, notes app open, entry mark, 3:16 a.m. And I think of you, and I think of Tony, and I think of Reginald, and I think of Smoke, and I think of Danny, and I think about the boy whose body I watched writhe in the cell across the hall from me, kick and take strange shape, his leg reaching for the chair he had just kicked away for the life he had just rejected, and his stare at me as I looked back and understood I was powerless. And I think of Charlie, and I think of Charlie down on his bunk with no one to care enough to cover his body when he passed, and I think about every moment between now and that first taste of gun death, the very first time powder burn scorched a piece away, burning me beyond new bloom, and that happily named dread, sweet and heavy like lead, that takes everything in me, breath, soul, and will to live every time. You, he, we die. Clearly too easily forgotten to be begotten, I guess. And I try to accept that I'm powerless. As I head to my father's house to hope he would give me back the gun that you gifted me that I gave to him when it seemed like it was the right move, that I can't seem to think now if it was cowardice or intelligence, but either way, I'm begging him to give it back. See, he knows I'm doing bad, but he doesn't understand that I'm trying to accept that I'm powerless. But I haven't yet, so in case I fail, I want to at least have your gun, if I do accept the only power I have left. Part 2. You'll be happy to know. Master Love replaced the digital scale on my nightstand, bro. Yeah, it's corny. But I decided to exchange coke for hope. I decided for the first time in my life to flush profit and addiction down the drain without the police breathing at my door and I alone. Phone camera out on record, needing an accountability partner, disinterested witness to this, I alone. On the night after the day before when I found myself putting the helium cart in my online shopping cart, cause shit, man, Reddit said it's painless that way, bro. No gasping, no gagging, just rest in 3 to 5 minutes. A blessed blink of time in this life of long, indeterminate sentences and decades lost where 20 years of your life, your living, your existing can be weighed insufficient. Where 20 seconds of this new anxiety in this new world can make you feel like there's nowhere to go, but where in just a few seconds with just a few words, bro, you good? Your head can rise out of the clouds. You look around and say, damn, I'm not alone. So I'm trying, bro. And you know me, man, here's the hope in this new prison we escaped with, something more than just maybe. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the stage, Detroit Medical Orchestra. We have Greta Moldbowen, who is joining us back. Thank you so much.
So much. I have to carry this keyboard one more time. I forgot to grab the stand when I grabbed it from our closet on Sunday. Not the stand, sorry.
I am pleased to introduce Leon Judd, who's the president president of National Alliance on Mental Illness. I'll get it out. NAMI Metro. Please give them a warm welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. As was mentioned, and if you've been by our booth, you know that we're with the National Alliance on Mental Illness. It is the largest advocacy organization for mental health in the country. So we are an affiliate for Oakland, Wayne, and Macomb counties. So one of the things that we do is we're an all-volunteer organization. We provide all free benefits and free services in terms of our education, support, and advocacy. So all of those things are designed to do a couple of things. One is primarily to educate people who are confronted with a mental health condition or their families. And all of those things go to trying to defeat stigma. Some of the programs that we have, which are anti-stigma programs that we take into the schools and the universities, things called In Our Own Voice, Ending the Silence, those are all designed to help people understand that mental illness is like any other illness. And the one thing that people need to understand is that early prevention is key. Stigma is one of the things that keeps people from reaching out and getting help.
So my wife and I, we have a son who was 19 or 17 when we dropped him off at the University of Pittsburgh, honors engineering school, engineering physics, on an academic scholarship. And in his sophomore year, he had a complete psychotic break. That's not an unusual story from our family support groups that we hear on a regular basis. The issue is he had 4 hospitalizations after he was home. 2 of those we had to petition the court for, and 1 suicide attempt. So this was our introduction to the whole world of mental illness, and that's why family members and others get involved in some of the activities that we do, is to learn more. We don't get a lot of help from the professionals, so people with lived experience can share a lot more in terms of their lived experiences, which is something that is very helpful, helps them move along. So the good news is, I want to fast forward. So we had 5 years of those 4 hospitalizations and suicide attempts. He went back and got his undergraduate degree. He got his master's degree. He's a cybersecurity analyst today, worked in automotive, aerospace, and Department of Defense. So there's hope. His diagnosis ultimately was bipolar with psychotic features. He lives on his own. He manages his medications. He manages his mental health needs and manages his life. So one of the things that we try to encourage in all of our family support groups for so many who don't believe that there is hope is that indeed there is, and we have an example of that. Thank you very much.
All right, next we are joined by my good friend, JD Schramm, who will give us a moving talk called The Bridge Back to Life.
June 11th, 2003, very nearly was the date on my tombstone. Because on that night, I made a very serious mistake and a very serious attempt to end my life. I stand before you privileged and blessed that I failed, but I am one of the few people who has lived after leaping from the edge of the Manhattan Bridge down into the East River in New York City. What I want to do tonight is just briefly share with you what I believe helped get me to that deep, deep point of depression and near fatal mistake, and what I've been able to do since then, and what all of us can do so that we can avoid getting to the place of feeling as if there is no hope whatsoever. My sister said it best. She said, JD, June 11th was the end of a chapter, not the end of the book. And I am delighted that that's how it turned out. The last year we have statistics for 49,316 people in this country ended their life. That means about 135 people a day. That means in the 11 minutes I've been given to speak, one more person in our country, statistically speaking, will end their life at their own hands. But we can change all that. So on my flight out here from San Francisco, I was seated next to somebody who had a career that I didn't even know existed until I got on the plane. Chris Panos is an aerial firefighter. Now, he was really quick to acknowledge he's not the one who puts his life at risk, but he's the one on the plane that can guide the drones that can search out where sparks are even before the sparks are visible so they can preemptively put out brush fires. I was like, oh my God, Chris, this is so cool that you're sitting next to me because I'm using an analogy in my talk at Wayne State on Thursday night about brush fires. Be my fact checker. So I went over my talk with a true aerial firefighter, and he has guaranteed everything I'm about to share is reasonably accurate. So when there's a brush fire, there are two things that have to happen. First of all, there's precipitating factors. There's high winds, hot weather, dry grass. All of these precipitating factors in and of themselves will not cause a fire, but they make it easy for a fire to happen. But what has to happen is to those precipitating factors, there has to then be a spark. And that spark could be a cigarette thrown out of a car, or fireworks, or a campfire, or what Chris told me. He said sometimes when you see those trucks that are pulling a trailer behind and they have those chains that hang down and hit the pavement, that can become a spark that flies into the grass, that becomes a grass fire, becomes a brush fire, becomes a forest fire. But without that spark, the precipitating factors in and of themselves won't ignite. But when the two come together, a fire can be ignited. And it's the exact same thing with mental health. There can be precipitating factors, like in the rooms of recovery, we talk about HALT. You're hungry, you're angry, you're lonely, you're tired. You have consumed too much alcohol or consumed too many drugs. You have gone off your meds, or you have gone on meds without the supervision of a psychiatrist and you're self-medicating. All of these precipitating factors of mental illness can be in place, but then there's a spark, a job loss, a relationship breakup, a financial setback. You didn't get into the school you wanted or the job that you wanted. And that spark, combined with those precipitating factors, can ignite a fire. And yet the solution at an individual level is pretty straightforward, but that doesn't mean it's simple. You gotta look at what it is that I can take away and what it is that I can add. So look at your own life and think about, what could you remove? Toxicity, toxic people, toxic places, toxic professors, toxic classes. What is the toxicity I can remove? Can I remove screen time? Can I remove social media that gets me agitated? Can I reduce or remove drugs and alcohol? Can I be sure that I do not have access to something that could be used for self-destruction? So what is it that I can take away? And then, what is it that I can add? What is it that I can do to water my grass? Can I add physical exercise? Or I loved what you did with us a few minutes ago, Stephanie, with mindfulness. Can I do yoga? Can I get outside? I had to miss a little bit of the program because before the talk, I wanted to take my stress down and I just walked in the courtyard just so that I could have that experience. What is it that you can add to your life, like watering the grass, that will reduce the precipitating factors? So when I got out of rehab, they had a motto for us to stay sober. They said, do the 5, stay alive. Now, I like it as a bumper sticker. I have a different 5 steps because we're not talking about rehab here. But I have 5 ways that you can step into a life that allows you to live fully rather than at fear, like I was. So you ready for them? We're in an old church, so we're gonna do a call and response. You ready for this? Okay, do the 5, stay alive. Number 1, water your plants. Water your plants. That'll be different for all of you, but what is the water that you need to put on? Number 2, clear your brush. Clear your brush. What is it that you need to get rid of? What is it that you can let go of? Number 3, consume intentionally. Consume intentionally. Now that was a lot of syllables, I know, but really think about what is it you put in your mouth, your eyes, and your ears. What is it that I'm eating and consuming? What is it that I'm reading and consuming? So consume intentionally. And number 4, build a dream team. Build a dream team. Oh, come on, you can do better. Build a dream team. Put around you the people that you need in your life that are going to help you live a life of mental health and a life that you are pleased with. Meeting people in real life. I've got 3 friends here that go to church with me almost every Sunday, but they do it online from Detroit while my husband is preaching in San Francisco. We got together so we could be in real time. So build a dream team of people you can confide in and that you can trust so that you have that experience. And number 5, no 741-741. Together? No 741-741. Don't pull out your phones right now because I don't want to lose you, but if you look on a phone, up the left-hand side, 741-741, those are the digits on the left-hand side. That'll connect you to crisis text line. Or even more simply, call 988. Not 911, 988. There are in your pocket, you have access to people 24/7 who can help you do the 5 and stay alive. My commitment in being here tonight is to share my story, but more importantly, give you some tools you didn't have when you walked into St. Andrews that you can take out with you so that we can change the statistics and so that we can be helping one another live lives that do not have stigma, but that have fullness. Let's do it.
All right, Mela Detroit will return to the stage for their performance called The Greatest. I'm trying my best to keep you satisfied. Let you get your rest while I stay up all night. And you don't know All right, next I'm going to welcome to the stage. I promise we're getting there, guys. We're going to make it almost on time. I'm going to welcome to the stage University of Michigan researcher Gabby Maramag, who's going to do a special community member recognition for some folks who've been doing some amazing work in the city of Detroit to break stigma about mental illness. So welcome, Gabby.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gabby, and I'm honored to recognize two individuals who have used their gifts to uplift, inspire, and heal our community through music. Daryl Strickland and Harold Thomas are the creative forces behind the Mental Health Concert Series in Detroit, which is a powerful initiative that brings people together to raise awareness, break stigma, and create space for healing through song. Through their work, they've shown that music isn't just entertainment, it's medicine. Their performances give voice to those who are struggling and remind us that we are never alone. In a city with deep roots in both music and resilience, Daryl and Harold are carrying that tradition forward in a way that touches hearts and saves lives. Tonight, we honor them not only for their talent, but for their courage, compassion, and deep commitment to mental health advocacy. On behalf of the Voices Unlocked team and all those who have been moved by their work, I'm proud to present this certificate of recognition as a small token of our immense gratitude. Daryl and Harold, thank you for everything you've done and everything you continue to do. Please join me on stage.
Just don't know what. Wasn't expecting that. This is beautiful. We've been supporting the mental health and domestic violence for over a year, me and Harold, and we have a month mental health concert series that we do. The next one is at the Music Hall on November the 22nd. So I take it to heart with this because my mother is suffering with Alzheimer's and breast cancer right now. I'm taking care of her every day. I clean her, take care of her. You know, I'm in school too. It's my last year at OCC for mental health, so it's kind of rough. And, you know, to see a person that goes from good health mentally and, you know, and just go down like that, it's killing me. But by the grace of God and people like you and the support we got, it builds me up. So, but I thank you so much for everything.
I wasn't expecting this either. He's still taking care of his mother, and God bless him, you know. My mother passed December 2024, and I had been caregiving for my mother as well. So it's, you know, when when you're doing certain things for family members or whatever, anybody, you know, that it becomes a mental stress, you know, in some certain type of situations. But my mom had always taught me, you know, she used to tell me all the time, she said, well, you better let me do what I could do right now, because it's going to get to the place to where she won't be able to do it, then I got to do it. And when I had to do it, you know, it took a whole total another, you know, different level of life. But that's my mother. I love her. I still love her to death, you know. And the mental health, which mental health was involved in, I struggle with my own things as well, right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of us do. A lot of people just don't recognize it, right? But it's in us. It's in us. And the thing is that what we need to do is, like music, what I've learned is music is something that'll take that pressure off of anything that you go on, any artistic skill. You feel what I'm saying? Music is just a thing that just makes it happen, and that's what I do to deal with my situation. Once again, Hillary and your friends and everybody in the house tonight, we thank you guys. God bless you. We're gonna pump it up before we get up out of here, right?
Thank you. We love you.
Raul will be singing Cherish for us now.
tell you about this song. I wrote it like a week ago, and I wrote it for this event. And Cool in the Game did it, but I'm doing it my way tonight on behalf of mental health and stress and all the things going on in the world. So bear with me, and I hope you enjoy it. Did the mic go off again? I think there we go. There you go. It's called Cherish.
You probably heard this song before, but in the days and time we're living in, cherish the love we have. It's rough out there, but we got to cherish and tell someone that we love each other. We're gonna get through it. Watch this. Bring the music up a little bit more. There you go. Babies out here dying, people out here crying, mothers out here crying, putting sons in homes, wars everywhere, make no sense to me. Innocent people dying, what do we do? Make no sense at all. Violence in the streets, broken homes everywhere, no food to eat. People on the food, sleeping on the ground. The Bible's coming true. What are we supposed to do? We should cherish the love. Come together. Time is rolling away. There's no time to waste. No matter what your nationality is, no matter what your color is, just show the love in your heart. It don't cost nothing to tell someone you love them, to tell someone you care. If you do that, you've been following the golden rule to come together. We should. You and I. Well. People, we've got to come together. Sing it. Can everybody say that? We should cherish love. We all we got. We can do it. We can do it. Love you. I wrote that song just for you. And thinking about the day of the person doing it, but I'm doing it for you. I love you. Thank you so much.
And Harold Thomas joins us back on stage for I'll Be Dancing.
Okay, you guys are gonna have to get off your seats on this one, okay? They're looking at me like, no, we're not. Yeah. Something like this. I tried to get some of the Glee Club, the choir, they're gonna do their thing. And you guys just get up, you don't have to sit down and just be, that right? Just stop a little bit before we get up out here. Is that cool? I'm gonna sing a song right here. Here's another song I wrote. It's called I'll Be Dancing. Once more.
I've been doing my own thing, early in the morning. When the sun's rising, open that then I'm falling. Yeah, I got a good feeling. gonna let up a little bit, man. Come on. I'll be dancing.
It ain't hype yet. Come on, y'all.
All the people in the house, y'all, sitting down in the morning. Get up and dance, so the thing is gonna get falling. You gotta get together. All the people in the house gonna be. I'll be dancing. I'll be dancing. Yeah. I'll be dancing. Yeah. Still I'll be dancing.
What you feeling, y'all? Come on, put your hands in the air. Come on. I'll be dancing. Forget about it. Come on. I'll be dancing. Thank you.
I was dancing backstage. No one wants to see that. All right, next, we're almost there. I promise, guys. I am very excited to introduce my new friend, Ben Will, who is. That was just rude. Director of, there we go. Oh, that was perfect. Of Motor City Sings. So please welcome Ben to the stage.
Thank you. Good evening, good evening. If you're really from Detroit, say what up, though. I'm really excited to be here. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization with the mission of using music production and performance to remove stigma from suicide prevention resource provision. We target African American audiences throughout the city of Detroit, specifically African American women and LGBTQIA people of color. Those are our primary audiences. However, all of our programs are open to anybody who would like to come and learn. We've had some award-winning musicians, Thornetta Davis and Charity, both performed at our last show. If you want to learn more about us, you can visit us at motorcitysings.org. You can follow us on social media, also at Motor City Sings. And it's called the Motor City Sings. So that's my work. If you want to learn more about me, you can follow me online. Thank you so much for your time.
All right. So we are almost to the end. I have one more person I want to introduce you to, who is the founder or the president and CEO of the Children's Center. So this is the beneficiary organization of our silent auction. Last push, you guys, we have some amazing artwork, some signed hockey pucks from the Detroit Red Wings Foundation. So please scan those QR codes. This is your last opportunity to get some goodies. We've got care packages. We have artwork done by formerly incarcerated individuals here. It means the world to us. And it is my great honor to introduce Desiree Jennings, the CEO and president of the Children's Center. Thank you, Desiree.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am so excited to be here for Unlocking Voices. My name is Desiree Jennings. I do want to correct one thing. Senator James' cousin founded the Children's Center in 1929. So we are 96 years old. We are right down the street. We provide behavioral health services for kids and families. We provide child welfare services, so we help kids who are in foster care. We help kids to get a forever home and be adopted. We help kids who are aging out of foster care who have never been adopted. And we also do community engagement and advocacy events just like this. So we are so proud to be here, to be a recipient. We're so glad that Wayne State and Hillary invited the Children's Center to partner with this event. So many people talked about the difficulties and challenges they have experienced. Just think about how much harder it is for kids who experience some of those same difficulties and challenges. And oftentimes, kids are going through things that are outside of their control. They experience trauma because of their environment or because of other people that they are exposed to. So the Children's Center mission is to help children and families shape their own futures. We have a resource table in the back. We invite everyone to grab some information. We invite everyone to come to the Children's Center to visit, take a tour, see what we do, and see how even you can be involved with helping a child to shape and family to shape their own futures. Thank you so much for having us tonight, and we are so glad to partner with this event in Unlocking Voices. Thank you.
All right, we have made it to the end, only 7 minutes over. Let's do a quick round of applause for all of our amazing performers, volunteers, you guys, people, artists who donated their work. I'm looking at all my students. You guys are like, we made it. I so appreciate everyone here. A couple quick housekeeping things, and then I promise I will let you go to bed. Trust me, my husband is here. He's like, this is way past your bedtime, girl. What are you doing? The silent auction officially ends at 9:15, so please take a minute to place your last bids. If you did place a bid, please stick around for 9:15 while we're starting to break things down and claim your prize. Again, 9:15 is when that closes. Please continue to visit the booths and share this wonderful experience. And I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for showing up and for sticking through to the bitter end. And whether you placed a bid, you made a new friend today, or even just came here with an open heart, that made a difference. And I think we learned that mental health is health, that stigma can be pulverized, and empathy and being a human and having that connection is so, so important. So thank you all. And thank you to my amazing team. I love all you guys.